Stratovarius here, and yes, I'm talking about some more Stratovarius. A couple of my favorites right here, just before the new album comes out on September 23rd. So let's dive into this one. This first one of mine that I really love is Episode. This song has certain songs that are really full of energy, like Will the Sun Rise and Speed of Light. I like the mixed complexities and the simpler nuances in this one, so it gives you a bit of diverse flavor with these two tracks that are more energetic, more fast, more hard-hitting, classic Stratovarius. But I like how it opens too with Father Time as well. That's sort of an even keel song, so there's a lot of diverse tempos in this to sort of really, catch the listener in different ways, and really gives you a lot of flavor to the album, having these sort of different types of songs with Father Time, Will the Sun Rise, Speed of Light, and then we move over to some these awesome methodical atmospheric songs on this album, starting with Eternity. There's just such a great flow to this track, from serenity blended intro with harmonious melodies, stern potency at times, and this poetry that sort of calms angered oceans. And I love the stoic atmosphere that builds this suspenseful magnificence within this track, and you sort of hear this sort of template, this sort of atmosphere in a few songs on this one, and you really feel it on Season of Change. This one's more calmer though. It doesn't really explode as much as Eternity, or Uncertainty is another great one, and Nighttime Eclipse. But Season of Change has its own entity, and that's why I really love it. It really stands out. But I've talked about this song in great detail as a must listen on my Visions of Europe video, so if you're interested in that, go on over and check that out. I'll put the link here up at the end of the video for you guys if you want to click on that. But I really felt like Stratovarius expands on that stoic atmosphere in Nighttime Eclipse. This one is just so potent. The core is built around amazing lead work and killer melodies throughout, backed by great keyboard atmosphere and perfect drumming that enhance this this compelling and dynamic guitar work. There's just so much layered up and full of this song. The rhythms and the drum work are absolutely killer. I love the potency behind them. They add the intensity, whereas the lead work and the keyboards surround with like more elegance to them, more grandeur at times. And I really like the details within. They're fantastic. I love the varying energies and the seamless transition. So there's a lot to soak up in Nighttime Eclipse, and it's towards the end of the album, so it's just a really great sort of closing track for you to pick up on Episode. That's why I love this album. There's so much to soak up and diversity on it. It's absolutely killer. So Nighttime Eclipse should actually be a must listen, so I'll put down there for you guys to check out as a must listen. Now, the next album I'm going to talk about is this guy here, Nemesis. I was going to talk about Visions, but my good friend Vendel at Vendel's Metal and Stuff took that one from me, which is okay, because that means we just have the same taste, and that's both of our favorite albums. And that means I get to expand a little more on this guy here, Nemesis, one of Stratovarius's not really newer albums, but more recent albums. One of the albums without Timo Tolkki, which I still think is fantastic. I think they did an awesome job on this. I even love the cover art here is really fantastic too. It opens with exciting energy and is this absolute killer force behind the song Abandoned, with many nuances that are vastly important, such as the subtle verse build with this groovy bass and geared up rhythm that joins to boost the pre-chorus that rises higher and higher and really elevates towards the chorus, so you get this swell of energy coming with and then you got these crafty drum hooks all climaxing with this vibrant auras and majestic vocals in this absolutely mega chorus. Abandon is an absolute awesome song in my opinion. Easily going to be added to the must listen list for you guys to check out. I love everything that this song encompasses. Absolute awesome, and a great way to grab the listener right off the bat with Abandoned. And that energy I feel is continued in songs like Unbreakable and Stand My Ground, both wickedly powerful. I love the force and delivery and the grandiose choruses behind it, which seems to be a theme. There's a lot of build up towards the chorus. The song just starts the way it starts off, and it builds up and it explodes even more with the chorus. So there's a lot of hook there, a lot of great ways to grab the listener. And I love the lyrics. I really felt the lyrics behind these two songs are very inspiring and very strong, and great delivery of the message here. Just potent riff work behind that as well. So these two tracks, I love how they follow up Abandon. You just keep rolling. the songs just keep rolling out with a lot of energy, a lot of toughness, and a lot of great inspiring lyrics. And these songs just don't back down. They're hard hitting. Like I said, it's very inspiring and tough. Then we move on to something a little more experimental and fresh from Stratovarius. We've got Halcyon Days. This lures with psychedelic and grand atmosphere backed by robust tempo and guitars at times. I love the subtle thriving just before the celestial keyboards and vocals take over in the exuberant, exciting chorus. And then you get one hell of a dubstep solo on this. At least I feel like that's what it sounded like, was dubstep. But I really like the variety and the sort of different direction that the Halcyon Days has. It has just this very atmospheric sort of ambience to it, and then you got sort of this dubstep feel in the solo. So there's not a lot of experimentation on this, but it's just something a little fresh, and I like that the Stratovarius added that in there. And then, you know, the album takes a bit of a different direction for a little bit, and that's what I like about this, is you have some fresh songs to it. You got like Fantasy, Out of the Fog, it slows down a bit, maybe a smidgen, and Castles in the Air. And then we move on to, you know, this absolutely pulse pounding song, Dragons. This is the epitome of pulse pounding energy I felt, with thundering bass, fiery rhythms that gear up to compete with the glorious chorus, absolutely killer chorus, and the red hot message that is set ablaze by the vocals. I love the message here, I love the energy here, and once again the nuances tucked into Dragons is fantastic. I love how they sort of assist and elevate each instrument in each moment, especially like the tremolo. This sort of gives a little boost to the tempo and the drums, the tremolo on the rhythms there, or from the rhythms, and that's just absolutely the little things that I talk about, is elevating each other like that. And then you got the octave at the end. The octave change is so momentous and makes Dragons so much more, even more memorable. So it's absolutely a killer track, and it's shorter, but it's really hard hitting, really fast, and just energetic and fun to listen to. So it's definitely, you know, one of my must listens to, and I feel like it's an absolute killer track, and he does a fantastic job, Timo Kotipelto, as well as he does a fantastic job on this next song I'm going to mention, If the Story Is Over. This is one of Timo Kotipelto's best emotional, lyrical and vocal performances, in my opinion. He really knew when, where, and how to elevate his emotions and range, and that climax was composing brilliance, in my opinion. It catches the listener's soul in this as we build throughout the first couple of minutes to this sort of climax and sort of epicness, grandeur in this song. I love how it builds more and more to capture even more heart and soul with the elevation from the guitars and vocals. Like I said, it builds to this part, and, you know, really captures it. It's building and you're expecting it, and then when it hits, you're just like, ah, this is fantastic. So I really think they did a great job on composing and building this song, If the Story Is Over. Fantastic job from Timo Kotipelto and on his vocals. Like I said, I think this is probably one of his top performances. And this album, Nemesis, I think is one of Stratovarius' best. I really enjoy it. All songs are one of a kind, very fresh. I think it's a gem of an album. You have a lot of, like I said, fresh songs, from Abandon to Halcyon Days to Dragons. That's a faster song, more intense. And then you got If the Story Is Over. There's just a lot of variety on this album. I think it's fantastic. So I hope you guys check out my recommendations here, and my must listens to down below. I'm going to have Dragons, Abandon, Nighttime Eclipse. Oh yeah, and also feel free to check out my other video on Stratovarius, which will be up here, and then soon I'll be talking about more Stratovarius. Yes, more, when the new album comes out, September 23rd. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. I'm really enjoying talking about this band. I think they're fantastic. Until next time, folks, how about some heavy listening?